Welcome to my video, Wrapping Docker Images. Have you ever wanted to do something extra before delegating back to the public Docker image? Well, in this video, I will cover how to launch Grafana running on the Ubuntu operating system and bootstrap it with a secret available on AWS SSM Parameter Store and custom configuration stored on AWS S3. So we want to see the entry point for Grafana. So let's head over to Docker Hub to the Grafana image, look at tags. We want to look at our tag 662 Ubuntu and just view the image history. And we can see there is an entry point there for /run.sh. So let's remember that. Next, we want to have a look at the Grafana configuration file. This is just a quick one I've put together. It's got the admin user protocol HTTP port set up as if it was running behind a proxy, so running on /Grafana. Let's create a unique bucket just to store our configuration file in there. Let's upload our Grafana config file. Let's create a SSM parameter that's going to store the location. Let's create a SSM parameter which is encrypted for our administrator password. So let's just create a quick Docker file. We're going to base this from Grafana with the tag 662 Ubuntu, which is the one that we looked up previously on Docker Hub. Now we need to set the user back to root because we need to install the AWS CLI. And that's for two reasons. We need to access SSM parameter store for both the Grafana administrator password and the location to the configuration file. And then we need to download the configuration file from S3. So we've just copied across the wrapper script, which we're about to create, and we'll stick that in the user local bin. We'll also make that executable. We can set the user back to Grafana as we're finished with the root. We'll also set some environment variables telling Grafana where the configuration file is and also what AWS region we're operating in. I set the default to AP Southeast 2 because I'm in Australia. And we'll set the entry point to call our wrapper and pass in the original entry point that we saw in the Grafana image, as well as the AWS region. Now, I'm just passing that through as a second argument. Let's now create the wrapper script. Firstly, we want to capture the two parameters that were passed in. The first being the Grafana entry point, the second being the AWS region. Next, we want to reach out to SSM parameter store and grab both the S3 config location and also the administrator password. With the administrator password, remember that it's encrypted, so we want to add the with decryption flag to the CLI command. I've just added some checks to ensure we've been able to retrieve the parameters from SSM parameter store, one for the config location and one for the administrator password, otherwise we'll exit. Here we're going to download the configuration from S3 and we're also going to set the security admin password environment variable for Grafana. And let's call the original entry point. We can now build our Docker image and we can run it. So if we just jump back up to the top, we can see that we have both the S3 download and also the SSM parameter, as well as having all the output from the original entry point, which we called at the end of our wrapper file. Finally, we can navigate to our Grafana instance running on localhost 3000 /Grafana. And if you put in our credentials, which I've just got saved here, we can see we've loaded up Grafana and that it's running on the Grafana mount path. Well, that's it. You've now seen how to wrap a Docker image, add some extra functionality and delegate back to the original Docker image. If you liked this video and found it useful, please like and share, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye now.